Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Kingdom citizens. Hello, everybody. Gather in. God bless you. Thank you for stopping by. Happy to have you here. Let me mute my laptop here so I don't hear that. Go like that. Okay. How's my audio? Audio check real quick. Let me get some thumbs up in the house. Let me know you hear me good. Nice, solid, clear voices. No echoes. No bad situations here. Wonderful, wonderful. Hello, Chris. Chris is in the house. God bless you. How are you? Jerry's in the house. Jerry says in the house. Thankful Thursday. Yes, it is. Hello, Denzel and Velocity friends. Hello, hello. Let's see. Santos, how are you? Snap Bean, how you doing? Are y'all hearing that little clicking noise? I gotta kill that. There we go. I think I just killed it. Hello, Joel. God bless you. How you doing? Rick. Lexi. Hello, hello. Jaquetta. I can never say your name right. I'm sorry, but God bless you. How are you? Oh, yes. Yes, we got a lot of people in here tonight. Loving it. Hello, hello. Looks like we got some new people. Hello, Sharonda. How are you? Mr. Diesel's in the house. Hello. Eric, how you doing? Just want to acknowledge people as everyone starts rolling in. We're going to be going over some interesting things this evening. Got a lot of good news for you, so I don't want you to miss it. I want to go over some house rules here. Oh, hello there, my beautiful woman. The Chicago, how are you? Hello, hello. Maribel Cruz, how are you? All right, real quick, I want to go over some house rules. If you're brand new, my name's Denzel Rodriguez. I'm your personal finance geek of the 21st century. Primary goal on this channel is to teach you velocity banking, infinite banking, and kingdom authority. These are three main financial concepts I try to deliver in a authentic, real, reality way where I show you real numbers and I take you through a situation and we go from bad to okay to good to great to better to perfection, okay, to financial freedom, which is what everybody is seeking, especially in the environment that we're in right now. Pandemic, global outbreak, shutdowns, people getting sick, people dying, people losing their jobs. Things are getting rough. What do? How do we keep a level-headed mind? How do we fortify our positions? How do we stay calm, be effective, and stay productive, even when you're out of a job, lost your main source of income, whatever it may be? How do we navigate through uncertain times? Okay, that's what we're going to be discussing a lot of. We're going to be talking about the stimulus package, and we're going to be going over a specific situation that I have on the board already. So another house rule for all the new people here: join my Facebook, my private Facebook group. Got a lot of content in there, a lot of people giving value, a lot of people helping each other out. Been doing this for almost 2 years now, so I have a lot of successful students that are giving back their time, what they did, how they did it, and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. So jump in there and let's begin without any further ado. Let's take a look at the board here. I have a situation, okay? We are in a crisis. I am dealing with a mom, and what I'm going to do is just give you a little background information before I jump into the numbers, so you guys get a nice idea of what we're dealing with. This is real stuff, right? So this was this person that's on the board that you see the numbers, she reached out to me on May 2nd of 2019, okay? And so she's been following me for what, almost a year. So she's been watching my content. It's been, in the loop, out of the loop, whatever it may be. So her message in May 2nd of 2019 was, "Hey Denzel, I have been watching your videos for several weeks now." So that means she's been watching me since April or March of 2019. "Finally had the courage to call to contact you." Wonderful. "I am a 50-year-old mother of 3 who relocated to North Carolina after a very difficult divorce. Purchased her own home with her 401k savings and is now worried about the possibility to be able to retire and not be a burden to my children." So we got a real situation here. "My goals are to be debt-free, pay off my home in 5 to 7 years, and purchase a second home in Barbados, aka Paradise. I would really appreciate your help. I would appreciate an opportunity to talk with you. I'm not sure what services you offer or the cost of your services, but I thank God." There we go. Prime right there. "But I thank God that I found you online. So by no mistake did this woman find me. By no mistake. This is all part of God's plan. You seem to be the answer to my prayers." Incorrect. I'm merely the vessel. I'm merely the physical part of your answer, but it's really, we have to look at the source, which you had it right earlier. God is source. So I am cautiously, she says, "I am cautiously optimistic that you are legitimate. Please let me know what information I need to provide so that you can help me." Wonderful. So that was way back, 2019. I responded to her. I was like, "Let's have a conversation." So I basically sent her a link to just like a introductory phone call so I can get an idea of where she's at. And here's the thing. According to my records, and I might be wrong about this, but I don't think she ever took action on that free help. And I could be wrong about this, but I was looking at my history and I don't see a time where she ever booked a phone call with me from then till now. So if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but I didn't see it. If I did, then we just had a one-time conversation and that was it. Didn't hear from her, right? Fast forward to 2020, she purchased a 1-hour consultation with me on April 23rd, 2020. So we just spoke recently. All right, so she now has skin in the game. She believes that I'm real. This is legit. This is what she can do. Here's her situation. So now let's turn it back to the numbers here real quick. Now that you get the full scoop, okay? So here we have a person that's been following me since 2019 and is now finally taking action, 2020. This happens to a lot of people that are seeking financial help, that are afraid to make that move. They don't know who to trust. They don't know who to listen to, and they're watching a ton of information. They're trying to educate themselves, and so finally she made that move. So now here are the numbers. 2020. She's making $5,200 a month. Her expenses are $5,200 a month. Total debt is over $50,000. I have zero cash flow, no available room, no space whatsoever. On top of that, I don't have a debt tool, no debt tool whatsoever. The other thing is my credit score is bad, 630. And that's based off Credit Karma. So you can lower that even more. Okay. So we got bad credit, no debt tool, no cash flow, right? I'm spending money up to my teeth. And to make matters worse, we're in a what is it? Shutdown, right? Quarantine. Okay. We're going through that. She's taking care of 6 people. She has 3 children. Okay. And she's taking care of her sister who has 2 children, if I'm doing the math right, or another child. And I think the sister lost her job, so now she's living with the woman that I'm working with now. And she's got to take care of 3 kids herself, working through her teeth. If I'm not mistaken, I believe she's in the medical field. I forget. And I'm divorced. So I'm a single mom, 54 years old, nowhere near on track to retirement at age 59 and a half. What do I do, ladies and gentlemen? So what I want to open up this evening is I want to introduce everybody or reintroduce everybody to the kingdom. Okay, I want to explain some things here on how we can be effective leaders, effective influencers, effective kings and queens in our household so that we never have a situation like this ever again. So I want to display what it's like to be in a kingdom. Okay, I want you to witness what it's like to operate as a king and a queen, which is your birthright according to your manufacturer, right? You've been built or created here on earth to fulfill a purpose in your life. We must figure out what that is. If we do not, things like this, financial troubles and financial burdens and financial responsibilities, or just responsibilities in general, begin to stack on top of us. And if we attack it from a poor-minded perspective, simple-minded perspective, unbelief, no spirit, no hope, what do we do? Okay, so I want to ask you guys, based on the numbers here, okay, what are some fundamental principal moves, okay, financial moves that we can do to get this person out of a bind, out of a situation? Okay, what can we do? What are the answers? I'm gonna turn to the comments right now. I want to know. I want to hear what you guys are thinking, what's going through your mind as you look at this situation. Like, what goes through your mind? What do you see? Is this something that you went through in your life? Have you been in a tough situation before and didn't know where to turn, who to ask for help? Okay, what would you do? Let me get some comments. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll through because I know I'll see a lot of comments coming in. So I'm just going to look for the specific stuff that you guys got here. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing other questions right now, but there we go. That's the first one. Cut back on any and all extra expenses. That is a fundamental rule here. What is the ground zero starting baby steps of finances? We can always turn to debt snowball, okay? Or the concept of debt snowball, the Dave Ramsey thinking, okay? The cutting back, minimalizing, okay? Frugal, okay? This is we're going back. So before I even look at velocity banking, before I even look at trying to ask for help and receive welfare from government and all this different stuff, let's turn it all back to the person, back to the individual. What are they doing incorrectly that is cutting off access to blessings, access to resources? Okay, so being frugal is number one. Cutting back on expenses, totally, right? This is huge. Mr. Diesel, same thing, needs to lower expenses. He says, first you got to breathe. Yeah, that's huge. Got to breathe. I would add prayer. Okay, so there are some physical and then spiritual things that we can do to access freedom. Okay, liberty, right? Purpose, things like that. So I'm going to write the spiritual stuff over here. So prayer is the first thing that comes to mind. Whether you're a believer or not a believer, if you are imminent, close to death, near-death experience, in a tough financial times, I can guarantee every single person here is going to pray that prayer. Whatever that prayer is, in your own humble way, with your heart open and everything, I can guarantee you. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how unreligious you are, how atheist you are. I don't care. When you're near death, okay, because you never know what that's like, and you've hit rock bottom, matter of fact, you're below rock bottom, this guy comes into play. And I just love how Mr. Almighty operates. I love it, right? And it makes us realize how fragile we are as human beings. It reminds us how, we're not in control, that, your body isn't really yours. Okay, you're managing your body, you're managing your resources, you're a steward. Okay, you do not own anything on planet Earth. You are merely a ruler. You are merely a manager over resources over which you do not own. And the better you become at managing resources and taking care of your body, because it is a temple, the better off you're going to succeed in life. Okay, so prayer, big stuff. Okay. Well, this will be a physical thing, but there's some spirituality to that as well. Can I give? Right? This is something that comes to mind. So we already talked about cutting back on expenses. What I would like to do for everybody watching is, prior to velocity banking, whether you're doing velocity banking now or you're about to start, whatever the case is, and you're trying to, get your numbers together, get your cash flow right, get your credit right, all that good stuff. I want you to look 5 to 10 years back, okay, from 2010 to 2020. And I want you to evaluate all of the monthly subscriptions that you've ever paid before in your life. Pandora, Apple, Hulu, Netflix, cable, any subscription that is not a need. I dare you to tally that up, times it by 12, and then times it by 10 years. That is the amount of money that you could have had today to get you through this crisis. And I rest my case, right? When we realize how to manage little, we become masters over much, period. What I'm going to be sharing with you are principles. These are laws. You cannot break these. When you break a law, you establish a new law, okay? So if I break law number 1, law number 3 gets created, which is a consequence for disobedience to law number 1, okay? So there are laws that are affecting this person on the board here and those who are watching, okay? And the new people and people who are lost their jobs, whatever it may be. You have violated a law or some law in your household, in your kingdom, in your economy, and now you are seeing the consequences of your disobedience, period. So I want you to go 5 to 10 years back, calculate all the expenses, all the waste, right? All the dining out, all the Uber Eats and the Grubhub, okay? All that crap. Tally it all up. I dare you. You would have more than an emergency fund. You would have an investment. You would have so much, okay? But we have to learn how to manage little. So we've already covered that. Things that she can do to cut back, right? We get that. Giving. This is a fundamental principle here. Even when I don't have, I should be giving. This is a kingdom concept. Okay, this is a business concept. This is a logical concept. This is a law. When you give, you receive, period. Period. There's no denying this. When you give from the heart, you receive. Okay? The source or resource that you gave to is now obligated to give back to you more than what you gave, which is why the good book says it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. Why? Because when you give, you get back more than what you gave, period. Right? So we're going to display some of that this evening. We're going to display some giving, okay? So that we can cause a revival in this household and other households watching. Can cause some revival to go on here. So let me hear some other things. Let me hear what other people are saying right now. Let's see. Michael, I would start with a self-builder loan to help build her credit. Okay, interesting idea. Never heard of that. A self-builder loan. I've never heard of that. Love to hear a little more detail on that. Chris Lundy says start running her stuff through the 1,764 credit card and start with that cash flow. Okay, Chris, great idea. So the next thing, redirecting. If I am working paycheck to paycheck and I have no cash flow, I must redirect cash flow. Where's the money going? So we already know cutting back, yeah, get it. Frugal, get it. Minimalize, get it. Okay, give, wonderful. How do I redirect money? If you notice these debts right here, she's paying $100 a month or $100 plus. Okay, this is another issue that I had with this person is when I was talking to them on the phone, they did not have their 4 major numbers in line. They didn't even know how to get it in line. Okay, so that's a critical thing that we have to focus on is knowing our numbers. So we have to look back the last 90 days and then the next 90 days going forward. You have to track every single dollar. So that's another physical thing that I can do while I, get myself together. So this 100 a month plus, right? She was like, I pay a little over 100. And then she was like, with this other credit card, I pay a little over 100 and I pay a little over 230 a month. What I would do with all 3 of these cards is pay the minimum. Okay? I would pay the minimum balance, minimum monthly payment on all these debts. Okay? By sending my cash flow to debt, it's dying. Okay? I'm never going to see that money again. Okay? So what I need to do is preserve it and then figure out a way to multiply it and use it more than once so that I can produce results at a faster pace. So in a sense, what I'm saying here is I am willing to not pay off debt for a period of time so that I can reposition, reorganize my finances and restore my kingdom authority. Remember, we're going back to the person. The person is in a mess. We have to get out of the mess. We have to fix the person first, then the numbers come second. So I understand that it may seem logical, oh, just throw all your extra money at debt and you'll be out of debt at blah, blah, blah this time. But see, there's a problem there because we're opening ourselves up to risk. If I lose my job, it's game over, number one, okay? And thankfully, her job has not been lost due to the crisis here. But from a reorganization, restoring standpoint, I say pay the monthly minimum on all these credit cards, right? And redirect that cash flow back to me, and maybe we can establish some sort of buffer in the account, okay? And maybe I can use that money to restore credit. So Michael talked about doing a self-builder loan, but I like the idea of maybe some credit repair. Okay, some credit repair first, along with using existing stuff on hand, right? Existing debt to repair my credit. So I can do credit repair plus work on my existing debt to put myself in a better position. Now, sometimes for some people, we may do what's called getting a secured line of credit or a secured credit card to try and build credit. But we are in a position where we already have, we would say, a debt tool, a potential debt tool. Right now, it's not a debt tool. Right now, it's a liability. It's hurting us, right? But we can turn one of these into a debt tool, okay? So let me hear what other thoughts is coming to your mind. Yep. Sharona says cut out useless spending. Joel says create cash flow. Correct. How can we create cash flow, ladies and gentlemen? Is there a side hustle? I mean, we're in the generation of side hustles right now, right? We are in a environment where if you don't have a side hustle, you're tripping, right? If all you got is a job, you're tripping, okay? Especially if you live in the U.S., you're tripping. You need to get a side hustle. You need to sell something. You need to sell something. You need to sell something. Okay? You need to sell something. I'm going to repeat this quite a bit. You know why? Because if you do not sell something, you're going to be sold something. Okay? And if you are always on the end of being sold something, then you never have the resources to produce anything. Okay? So you got to figure out how to sell something. And when I say sell something, like what organization can I get into? If I work at a company and I'm just a simple employee there, is there a position that offers a sales, affiliate commission, referral marketing? What can I help the company that I'm working with, right? How can I become a stronger asset to that company so it is no longer a question of whether they want me to work there or I'm a good employee? No. The CEOs and the business owners start to say, okay, we need that person. They're producing a lot of activity. And I can tell you that right now is the best time to sell something, okay? Right now, even in a crisis. Out of a crisis, great. In a crisis, there's never a bad time to sell something. I promise you. My sales in my own company have either gone up or maintained during this crisis, and you would think it would drop. Now, the first month it did kind of drop a little bit, but it just skyrocketed back up because people are realizing just how much they need certain things. So you're either going to be the one selling or the one being sold. I choose to have both. I like to buy things. I also like to sell things. So that's how I can create cash flow, right? Is by selling something or creating a side hustle, working a second job, which might be a little overbearing for some people. I can understand that, especially the older I get. There's only so much I can do physically. So when it comes to sales, it's a great way to save time, save energy, not have to break your back. You just sell something that's of value. Okay. Jerry says start with mindset. Great. So that's the spiritual side, right? So that could be prayer, that can be meditation, right? Let's see. Maribel says cut back on the phone, cable, and meal plan. Yeah, the way you spend money on food is very interesting. Now, all mothers should know this. Like, I don't know about you, but I am amazed at how a mom can stretch that lovely dollar bill. Don't know how, okay? But we are in a even better environment where there are so many resources on the internet that will show you how to shop at specific locations create a specific meal plan. And I mean, you can look up on YouTube, like, how to live on $200 a month on food. I mean, I know people, I have clients that feed 4, 5 individuals in a household on $200-300 a month. I know my mom does it. There's 5 of us, and she spends, I want to say, anywhere from $400 to $500. Now, she's not doing some of the stuff that I see on the internet, but if she was, I bet you she can lower that cost down even further. So that is a huge advantage, is cutting back on your food costs. Like, where are you spending your money? Are you going to Whole Foods, right, to buy your groceries? Like, what are you doing? Okay, that's for, people of upper class that can afford that. Okay, there is levels to this. There's a process to this. Now, I'm not saying, go to the corner store. Okay, I'm not saying that. But if you just do a little research, there's a lot of people that eat a specific way that does not cost a whole lot, and it's very, very efficient. Okay? Snapbean says increase income. Yep. Creating cash flow, credit repair. Got it. Now, let's see. Antonio, look for additional cash flow. Instacart, DoorDash, Grubhub, etc. Love the ideas that are coming. Rich says consolidate expenses, increase cash flow. To make more money, cut expenses 10x. Yes. See, now that is an attitude. Okay, there's a bit of spiritual to this as well. 10xing your income. How do I go from 52 a month to 52,000 a month? Can I do it? Is there anything like stopping me from doing that? There's nothing other than your own fear. Okay. So let's see. Oh, love it. Love the information that you guys are putting out. It's true, when you analyze all the useless wants we buy, it's amazing. Yep. Joel says it adds up. Yep. Accountability is huge. First step, start writing down everything you spend every month. It's a real eye-opener. Yep. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. So these are all real things that I can do before I step into velocity banking. Okay? When it comes to giving, okay, what are some alternative ways I can give? Does it always have to be this? Money? No, it doesn't. I can give my time. I can give my effort. I can give my advice. I can give my patience. I can give, my skills to a company. So whatever company she works at, be like, listen, I can answer calls from home. I can write sales, email, marketing. I can do that. Even if you don't know how to do it, you can learn. It's not hard. Okay, I can send out emails for your company. I can review resumes. Anything. What do you want me to do? Right? If you start reaching out to the CEOs and the managers and the business owners and the bosses of your company, the closer you get to people with the knowledge, with the money, the faster it'll come trickling down back to you. And if you're able to manage the money properly, then it's going to put you in a great position. Okay? Maribel says giving can also be volunteer work. Many opportunities for this. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Volunteering can open a lot of doors. Could definitely get you closer to a raise, or whatever the case may be. Now, I got some good news, okay? And I want to see if people want to ride this wave with me, okay? There's some interesting things when you step into a kingdom, right? When you visit a kingdom, okay? So I have a kingdom. This is my kingdom, okay? I have people. I have an audience. Okay, I got a Facebook community of 300 plus individuals. I have a little over 500 plus clients on a specific platform in a private community. So I have a kingdom of financial people trying to increase their wealth, trying to operate, behave, perform, act like a king and a queen. Okay? Whenever you visit a kingdom, you have to bring a gift. Okay? Now, what this person did is they scrapped whatever they had, okay? And they managed to secure a phone call with me. So they just gave to a king. Now, the pressure is on me to deliver to her what she needs so that she can go back, okay, for my name's sake, for my reputation. That's on the line here. Also, because my kingdom is representing the kingdom of heaven here on earth, there is two kingdoms that she gave to. She gave to my kingdom, and then I take this money and I give it to my king, right? God the Father, Almighty, the Christ, okay? All the different names that represents God. There's many names that God goes by. All the same person, okay? All the same being. Now, because she did that, she has now put pressure on both kingdoms, right? Because I declared to God, I said, hey, this person just gave to you, not to me. Yes, she paid for my services, but this is your doing. So we need to operate and do the things that your book says to do, okay? It says to give, says to help. So I'm going to put you on the spot, God. I'm going to challenge your word. For all the believers in the house, if you are not challenging your king, okay, if you are not operating as a king, if you are not praying, and to give you some perspective on prayer, prayer is not hoping for a result. No, no, no. Prayer is not even asking for something to be done. A prayer is a plea. A prayer is a demand. You are a citizen in a kingdom, just like you are a citizen in the US, okay? Me as a citizen, I go to God and I say, Father, okay, so I'm recognizing the king. Our Father, hello, I'm recognizing the king, who is in heaven, holy is your name, okay, so I'm giving glory and I'm recognizing, okay, and then I'm demanding things from that point on. From that point on, I demand things. I say, hey, our Father, okay, who is in heaven, holy is your name. Thy kingdom come, where? Right? On earth. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Okay, so I'm demanding that my king bring his kingdom here on earth, right? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So we got to figure out what kind of kingdom God has. Well, God has a kingdom of no sickness, okay, riches and wealth and glory and authority and honor and all the above. So I'm telling God to release all that to here, earth. And by doing so, I now have the resources to give to this person. So I want to encourage those who are financially steady right now. You're financially good. You're in a good position. You're like me. You have no debt, or you're close to being debt free. You have tons of cash flow. You're cash flow heavy. You have assets. You have a Roth. You have a investment account. You have a policy, right? Let's say you're someone like me. You're doing well financially. I want to encourage a giving wave in a time of crisis, okay? A revival, okay, for those who are doing well. For those who are not doing well, guess what? You're in a kingdom right now. So for the 78 people watching right now, okay, 78 people watching in the house right now, if you are someone that is struggling financially, You're in a bind, back's against the wall, you're in the weeds, okay? You're on your last leg, okay, so to speak. You're about to witness some kingdom, okay? You got to get in the kingdom. You got to do whatever you can to get into the kingdom. You ever wonder why people from other countries will travel through borders and risk their lives and do illegal things just to get into a country? It's because of the opportunities that lie there. It's because of the kingdom. Same thing works with God, okay? His kingdom is so vast, so powerful, so great that people will die, people will live their life to preach, to share how awesome it is. And I'm one of those people. So, for those who have received the stimulus package, okay, I have received a stimulus package. Do I need it? No. But I received some money. I got $1,200 from the stimulus if you are employed or self-employed and you make under 75K. Because I have not filed my taxes yet for 2019, the IRS looks at my 2018 numbers, and in 2018 I was making 35 grand a month. So that's why I got that $1,200. Then I also got another $1,000 from the economic injury disaster loan. So this was free money. I didn't actually get a loan. I didn't get approved for anything. I just got the grant, and that's based off the amount of employees that I have in my company. Now, I do a lot of 1099 work, so the only employee is myself. So I got $1,000 for that. So I got a total of $2,200, money that I do not need. So what I want to do is give $2,200 of value worth to this person. She don't even know what's going on. This person doesn't even know what is about to go down in her life. Now, I don't know this person. They could be a fake, a phony. I don't know. I don't really know this person. I've never met them in person. I don't know them that long. They've just been a loyal subscriber, and they've been watching me, and they're showing commitment. So I want to be very effective with how and when I give to a person. I want to make sure they do the right thing with it. And even if they do not do the right thing, I am creating a guarantee for me personally, right? And here's how you guarantee that you will be blessed: is you declare this as it's God's, right? So I'm declaring that this money, even though it came from the US government, okay, which technically, if anybody knows, this ain't free money, okay? If you really think it's free money, it is not. It is money from your children's children, by the way, okay, that they're giving to you. And we're getting it now, and it's being put under management by us today and to handle our problems, with the hopes that we get out of this problem and then still have stuff to be able to position our children's children with, so that when they have problems, they haven't been duped. Okay, so hopefully that's not the case, but hey, we'll see. So this $2,200, I want to put this to work. How can we put this money to work for this person? Let's, we may not even need the whole $2,200, right? Maybe there's somebody else here watching that absolutely needs help. And I know I have people in my community that are doing good financially. I know I do. I've seen your numbers. I've seen you pay off tons and tons of debts. If you receive stimulus or some sort of help and you do not need this funds, I am encouraging you to give that to someone who needs it, okay? Give it. Because like I said, when you give, you receive more than what you gave, period. And if you do it truly from the heart and with meaning, with value, and maybe you're giving your time or effort or patience, listen, that's how you get out of a crisis, man. You start thinking and operating like a king, like a queen. This is how you keep moving forward. So I want to encourage that. First thing that comes to mind is this credit repair. Now, this is the only thing on here that costs money, right? So in order for her to get closer to doing velocity banking, which is something I want her to do because it's gonna, it's gonna go lightning speed once we get out of this trouble. But the things that are holding me back is my credit score, and the fact that I have these debts in the way. So credit repair, I know someone. Her name's Brittany Green. Website's crownfinancialsllc.com. Great person. I've done some content collaboration with her in the past. I'm going to reach out to her and say, hey, I got a candidate, okay, that needs some credit repair. And I believe there's like I don't know, like $150 that she charges or something like that. And then there's like a monthly fee for her to like do the paperwork and submit the documents to start turning this credit, in the opposite direction. Instead of going down, it's going up. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm gonna look at the comments and see what other people are saying about this. And let's see. So what I also want to do is give her my time, because time is money, right? So if I give her my time, put her in some credit repair, get this thing going, maybe that can motivate people to take action. Right now, the only thing that I fear is this person, reached out back in 2019, never took any action up until stuff really got bad. So I want to make sure I'm dealing with someone that is a person of action, that's going to take action, is going to do something, right? So when I spoke to her, I had to do some things. Like, for example, I was like, hey, you're taking care of 6 people. Okay, you need to put your foot down and require your children to start contributing to the kingdom. Okay, this is a great alternative way to bring the household as a unit and start operating as a unit. This is something that I had to do when I was growing up. When I got my first job at 16, 17, 18 years old, okay, when I first started working and making money for myself, I remember there were days where, mom, stepdad could not afford certain bills like rent, like car payments, like cable, like food, and coming to an 18-year-old kid, 19, 20-year-old kid, even 21, 22, and asking for financial help from a heir. Does that make sense? That's opposite. Has anyone been in a position like that where you had to ask your kids for help financially? Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's a disconnection going on. Okay? So now, when it comes to us being in a tough time, what do you do? What do you do when you're in a tough situation and you got people that you're taking care of? Yeah, you're taking care of them, but now you got to start leading them and become authority over them. If you're the mother or the father in the household, you are source. Okay, father means source. Okay, so you now have to influence, lead, and be an authority to the children. Now, there's no father in this household. I know what that's like. Okay, no leadership. Okay, so now mom has to play 2 roles. Mom's got to play mom and dad at the same time, right? Which is nearly impossible, but women do it. Don't know how, but they do it. And it's amazing. And my mother is one of those people playing both mom and dad at the same time. Authoritator, cultivator, incubator, carer, helper, lover, authority again, right? Rules, demand, okay? Working, feeding, working, producing, writing, right? Man, we love our mothers. Something about moms, man, we have to remember where the importance is, what really matters. So an idea that I told her, I was like, listen, your kids are grown, 23, okay? Not some of my age, you got a 26 and I think a 17-year-old. Listen, you let them know, you know what? Mom made mistakes, dad made mistakes, yep. But now we have to reorganize, reoperate, and rediscover our kingdom here on earth so that we can get the results that we want as a family. So from this day on, moving forward, you will give 10% to the kingdom, you will give 10% to the kingdom, and you will give 10% to the kingdom to help this kingdom operate, flourish, multiply, produce resources, and be good stewards. Okay? I was like, try that. You've been taking care of them since they was in diapers. Okay? So now it's time to pay up. Right? And it's unfortunate. Kids shouldn't have to do that, shouldn't have to be put in that position, but I know what it's like. Okay? And you may have to do that to your children if you are in a tough financial time. You say, listen, this is how it is. You know what? We weren't born with a silver spoon in our mouths, right? With a gold spoon in our mouths. So, therefore, we need to work our way up there together, whatever that entails, whatever it takes. We have to have a whatever it takes mindset to achieve this. So, that is another alternative strategy that I would give to this person. And I'm just going to answer some questions here on the side. Just looking back, I know this chat room is going nuts, and I love it. Let's see. Let me go back. Oh boy. Michael Copeland, it's a low-cost loan that you essentially make to yourself that allows you to build savings in your credit. Okay, interesting. Build credit, increase score, apply for refinancing, or consolidate her smaller debts for one single payment. Yeah, you know, I don't really love the idea of consolidation right away. I don't know if that's the best move, especially if I'm in a terrible credit position. I would rather work on repairing the credit first, better position myself for an opportunity to potentially do something else with the money. So I don't know if I want to do that. Rich says, how she's spending $5,200 a month on expenses on the board don't add up. Hey man, I know it don't add up, but that's what it is. Baker, would you recommend opening an IBC account and using it after a couple years of stacking money in the policy to pay off junk debts down? How would you use an IBC account to get out of debt? So in this particular situation, no. IBC is not in the picture just yet. That'll be down the line. Down the line. Jesus says she's taking care of 6 people. Yep. It's not full detailed. I assume rent and other expenses are missing that add up to $5,200. Oh yeah. Like on the board, I'm not showing like her food stuff. Like I don't got time for that. I'm just showing you the debts, right? But I'm just letting you know totally we're spending $5,200 a month. Baker says love the content. Jeff Bottles, credit repair, then clear the best balance transfer credit card and start eating at the rest of the balances starting with the highest APR. These are all great things. These are all great advices, but when you're dealing with a person that does not know how to manage credit cards just yet. So notice how I didn't even give her velocity banking advice yet. And the reason being is because of her 4 major numbers. So I said, prove to me first that you can manage what you do have. So without any help of debt, now this is obviously going against velocity banking thinking, but for those who are in the velocity banking thought process, I get what you're saying of all the things that we could do right now. Consolidation, switch around, maybe get another credit card, 0%, balance transfer, blah, blah, blah. I know. But you have to step back. Go back. You're dealing with a person that does not have the knowledge yet. So whenever I'm dealing with people that do not know their 4 major numbers, that cannot tell me where every single dollar goes, that is disorganized, just a mess, financial mess, we have to put velocity banking over there, and we have to start from ground zero, okay? We have to somewhat go back to Dave Ramsey thinking to then position ourselves back for velocity. So I could have easily told her, yeah, cut expenses, redirect cash flow, use the smallest credit card, starting with the 1764.92, right? And pay the monthly minimum on this one, monthly minimum payment on that. Start doing velocity banking on this smallest credit card here, dumping all your expenses into the credit card, right? Figuring out all the bills that can be paid with a credit card, the cash flow that we redirected from overpaying, right? and everything goes to one debt, right? And then I'm doing velocity banking with a credit card. That could work for this person, but if they do not have that discipline yet, because it takes discipline to actually do that. The flipping of money takes discipline. You have to understand exactly what you're doing. So I kind of took a step back even further and said, oh, listen, over the next 90 days, show me that you can manage your 4 major numbers first with no help whatsoever, right? And at the same time, you're going to be watching the content. You're going to be watching my videos, watching the material, watching scenarios, repositioning yourself, doing all this stuff here, all this stuff here. Then we come back. By the time we come back, maybe these 4 store cards, because she's got 4 other credit cards that she doesn't know how much she owes. She doesn't know the interest rate, doesn't know the monthly payment. So I'm like, we don't have our numbers. We cannot do velocity banking, period. If you do not know your numbers, do not do velocity banking. That's like a ultimatum advice, general advice, generally speaking. Once you know your numbers, now you're in a different ball game. Now you're looking through a different set of lenses that's going to help you move forward. So that is why I'm kind of being very, very firm on this type of person, and I deal with people like this every now and then. So let's see. Joel sold a ton of stuff on Craigslist. Awesome. That works. Yes, the side hustle. Michael says agreed. She can start by asking for a raise, look for phantom income. What? And run cash expenses through the first credit card. Yep. This is good. Bryant says, put her sister to work. There you go. I'm telling you, the sister that lost her job, boy, I would be grilling her right now. I say, listen, you got to figure out a way to make money tomorrow. Period. Do you know what it's like to go without food? Do you know what it's like to go hungry? Okay, there's certain people in this world that really knows what poverty is, and they will never go back to that. And then there's people that never experience poverty, so they become entitled, let's just say. Not everybody, but we have people who are entitled, right? Think that they don't have to get their hands dirty, right? Really, really become a grunt and work for anything, for any amount, and do any job. Cleaning houses, waiting tables, bartending, whatever job, however you think low of a job, that remind yourself that's an entitlement thinking right there. Oh, I'm too good for that. As soon as you go into that mindset, whoa, step back, hold up. Don't be doing that, because you'll kill yourself. Don't do it. You'll hurt yourself. So yeah, we got to put that sister to work, man. I put everybody to work in the household. Listen, you do this, you doing the chores, you're gonna do this. You're gonna figure out, all the millennials. If I'm a 54-year-old mom and I got a millennial in this day and age and they're not creating content, oh my God, I'd say, listen, you need to go make videos right now. Go, TikTok, Instagram, make videos, bring some money, become a king, become a queen, right? Do it authentically, okay? And grow this household. Denzel, this is why I like to listen to you with no one is beyond saving. God is using you in this crisis to save people. You are totally right. It's for all of us in just a couple years. Okay. What can the family do to help? Yep. Start couponing or start their own hustles if they're able. I'm telling you, man, it's possible. We all have 24 hours in a day. Oh my God. We all have 24 hours in a day. All right. So I'm going to move on from this situation. I think we've helped this woman enough. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to send her an email with this video. I'm going to blow her mind. Okay. She's going to watch this. She's going to see everybody in here giving value, right? I know I missed some of the comments. Forgive me if I missed your comment. It's only because there's so many people in here. So, my bad. But we're going to go into the second part now, which is the stimulus package. For those who are doing okay, right? You're making ends meet, all right? I want to share with you what I'm doing with my stimulus money. This is a very popular topic right now. If you haven't noticed on the internet, a very popular topic in terms of yet all these YouTubers talking about the stimulus. But I have not seen any videos yet talking on what to do when I receive the stimulus and how can I maximize these dollars? How can I, flip this money? So for my velocity banking people, now this part of the lesson is for you. For people who are, you know your four major numbers, back of your hand, you have debt tools or a debt tool. Okay, you're doing IBC, or maybe you're close, right? You're doing velocity banking, you're doing infinite banking, and you receive this stimulus money, and you're wondering how you can, flip that, right? Because as soon as you get into that velocity mindset, man, something happens to people. It's the funniest thing. You're like, man, how many times can I use $1? 7 times, 6 times, 5 times, 4 times over? Oh my God, I got to be a part of that. I got to be a part of that. So before I give the 2,200 away, right? Money I don't need, before I give it away, understand that I already received this money back in the beginning of April, is when I actually received both the 1,200 and the $1,000. So I just want to simply walk you through as like what I do immediately when I receive income, when I receive money, and how I operate. Okay. So for me personally, here are my four major numbers. My debt tools are 2 policies. Okay, so I have 2 high cash value life insurance policies designed for the infinite banking concept. Both of them are 1090 splits with Mass Mutual and Guardian. And then I have a bunch of credit cards, obviously on the personal and the business side. And I have 1 line of credit on the personal side for 10K. So here are my debt tools. Okay, wonderful. Now, when I received that 2,200, here's how it happened. How do I want to draw this? So it went into the checking account, right? Landed in my checking account. For some weird reason, my credit union, they put that $1,200 in my business account. I was like, yo, what the heck? What are they doing? That's supposed to go on my personal. But whatever. It's there. So 2,200 lands in my account. First thing I do, right, is I send that money to my infinite banking policy. So I send to IBC, let's just say. I recently just redesigned one of my policies, so I had the ability to dump quite a few funds into that. So more than 2,200 went in, but I'm just giving you the idea of what I do like on a yearly basis. So I sent it to the IBC, the high cash value life insurance policy. Okay. So now this money is now going to earn anywhere from 4 to 6.2% tax-free. Okay, wonderful. And then I'm gonna take this money out. I'm gonna do a loan. Take out a loan, a policy loan. The interest rate on that policy loan is going to be 5%. 5% simple interest, okay? Not amortized. Whatever interest I pay for borrowing this money out, I'm going to be offsetting that over here on the tax-free growth in the account. It's going to be as if I never borrowed the money to begin with, okay? So policy loan, right? Then it goes back to my checking account. So what did I just do? I just legally washed money. Okay. No, I'm not a drug dealer. I am Colombian, but I'm not doing that. Relax. We're legally washing money here. This is what the Rockefellers, the Walt Disneys, the JP Morgans, the people who run the banking institutions and the big corporations, this is what they do all day long, every day, all day. The big corporations do this to fund your health plans, to fund your life insurance, to fund your employee retirement plans, your 401k plans, your matching contributions. This is what they do, period. So once it comes back into the checking account, let's just say I just did 2,200. I took out more money, but I just want to show you the 2,200. The next thing that occurs is I now send this money somewhere. Now, because of what came up, a person, I have an opportunity to help a kingdom woman, right? Now I can give. So one option is after the money comes out, I just give it, right? But what's super cool is I sent it through a process first, because what usually happens is, like I said, is when I get money, I immediately put it to work. So before I even figure out where I want to give this money, because I have to figure that out. Am I going to give to this church, to that church? Am I going to give to that nonprofit organization? Or someone just sent me an email last week about they need help for this. So, when you get in a position where everybody's asking you for help, it does become a little difficult in terms of, where am I positioning this money? And now I got to go and pray to God and, make a plea, say, Lord, this is yours. What would you like me to do with it? I'm going to declare this money as yours, so you are in control. I know what to do on earth. I know how the earthly systems work here. I have dual citizenship, right? I'm a U.S. citizen and I'm also a kingdom citizen. So when I'm in the U.S., this is how I operate money. But when I step into the kingdom, this is when it changes, when I figure out where am I to send this money to. So one thing is, right, giving a portion, 10%, right, or give the whole thing, whatever it is. The other option is, so far what I've been doing is I established a HSA account, health savings account. My company, right, that I own pays me to establish an HSA. And then this money, say that 2,200, then goes into a brokerage account, right? And then I invest that money, right? So I'm putting it through this whole system. So now I'm going to show you multiple things that go on. So it's not just 2,200 that I'm borrowing out, but I'm just showing you just for the sake of the stimulus plan. Like, what did I do with the money and how are you operating it? How are you flipping it? So now that it's made it into the marketplace, it's now sitting in the brokerage account. Now it needs to be invested. Well, what's the strategy for the investment? Couple of things. I'm new to this, no expert. This is where my education starts, okay? Is I am currently practicing dividend investing, index investing, and then there's this other thing I came across recently called the magic formula, okay, where I can earn 20 to 30% returns, okay? $2,200, right? One use, sent it to IBC. Second use, took a loan out. Third use, HSA. Fourth use, we sent that money to a brokerage. It's now earning money. Now this money is going to multiply. Now here's the interesting thing. When I dump money into my tax-free, into my banking system, However much money I take out goes through the same system. Okay, so another system, in addition to $2,200, I take out even more money. So say 30 grand. Okay, so here's the other operation, right? So 30K income per month, right? It's coming in. Money goes into the policy. Take out a loan, all right? 2,200 bucks goes into HSA, all right? But 30 grand, this is more money that I get to borrow out because I have the resources to do so. Goes to another system where it lands in the personal checking account again, and then I write a loan to my company. Okay, so here's the second part. 30 grand is now in my personal checking account. So it went from business, this is the business checking account, got sent to personal policies, borrowed it out, then gets sent to personal checking account, right? And now I'm going to write myself a loan to my own company that I own. So now it arrives back here into the business checking account. So we're going to write BC before Christ. Nah, just kidding. Business checking account, okay, is going to land here, right? And then now that it's in the business, it's 2020, and we have something coming up called taxes, right? The IRS pushed the taxes back how far, guys? Someone tell me. Was it June or July? I don't know. We still got a month or so. The way I write myself a loan to a company is I use a service called Legal Shield, right? And they have something called legal forms. So by having a membership, they have this little cute app, Legal Forms, right? And I write the loan from Denzel Rodriguez to Builder to Contributor LLC. And then boom, $30,000 loan. And maybe I charge myself, I don't know, 5%. Okay. And now when the tax bill comes up, I'm expecting to probably have about a $30,000 tax bill. If it's less than that, hooray, right? That's awesome. That means my CPA really, really did a great job. If it's above 30, I might be a little wary. I'm like, whoa, hold up. But I don't expect it to be more than 30 grand, my tax bill for my first year in business, right? Whatever it is. So I pay the tax bill with expenses, right? This is an expense, so it's not coming from the cash flow, right? It's income, goes into the checking account, sent it to the IBC, right? This is an asset, so this is going to start. So now expenses, money I'm going to spend, is now growing tax-free. I now borrow against it, goes to my personal checking account, write a loan for 5% to my company. I put my company in debt $30,000, right? And now my business checking account pays the taxes. So that expense is taken care of. Guess what? When income comes into the checking account, more income from month over month, guess where it goes? I'm now paying, I'm bypassing all this. So I'm now coming back to the personal checking account here. So we'll put PC, personal checking account. So I'm now paying myself back at that 5% rate. This helps me on the tax side, right? So this is money being used how many times now? Oh my God, I'm getting lost in the sauce already, okay? But if you're able to follow along for my people who have been doing velocity banking, infinite banking for a little while now, you understand this. Okay, this is interesting stuff, and I'm going to continue to learn. This will be my first time doing this, by the way, so this is why I continue to make videos about it, kind of talk myself through it so that I do not make a mistake. But as I'm paying myself back, right, I'm not going to send it to the business checking account, right? Because it came from the business checking account. So where does that money go now? That 30 grand that my company income's coming in and it's starting to pay me back, starting to pay the loan back. This money goes to the IBC, right? So that 30 grand is going to go back in here and it's going to restore whatever loans I took out, right? Or it will fund the following year, whatever the next year funding, annual funding period is. So I can leave loans outstanding on my policy for so many years, never pay it back, doesn't matter. The money still grows, does not get affected by my cash value if designed properly. Now, I design my policies properly because I learned the information and I managed to find the right people and find people I know, like, and trust. And that's what I do with my stimulus money, okay? Now, the other thing that people in here can do with their stimulus money is, in addition to all that, if you have this set up, this top system right here, is the last thing that you can do is personal development, which is sort of general. Let's say you don't have this in place. For everybody watching, let's say you do not have this in place. Okay. Before you put all this in place, before you start going sporadic and think you can do all this because you're an expert and you watch 2 videos, right? And you know everything. Before you do that, I would do this, personal development. I would spend as much money as I possibly can on personally developing who I am in Christ, right? Or just who I am in this world, period. What's my purpose in life? Where am I going? Where am I headed? Why I'm here? Trying to figure out that. And that is, in addition, that's what I've been doing in this system as well. With any income, any type of income that comes into my system, I recently bought like 5 programs recently, personal development. So I bought a public speaking course on how to become a public speaker, an effective public speaker. Because I'm doing this index, dividend, magic formula stuff, I found another YouTuber that talks about index investing, magic formula. So I bought their program, right? So you just put like how to invest in the market. So how to invest in the market, right? That's the second program. What was my other third program I bought recently? Oh, I bought this other program called the Bossgram Academy, which basically shows you how to, build a social media business through Instagram. Start, building another platform. So these are options, right? I'm just showing you options on what I do with any free money that comes my way, stimulus, the next stimulus that's coming, right? So most people have received the first round of stimulus. I do believe there's still a high percentage, around 30 to 40% of Americans that still have not received a stimulus that is eligible. They still haven't received their stimulus yet. But I know that they're now working on a second. Oh no, did my camera freeze? Damn it. Hold on. My camera froze. Oh man, I've been talking this whole time. I hate when this happens. Yep, it's clearly frozen. All right, let me do something real quick. Bear with me. Freaking tech. Tech always wants to play games. That's all right. Let it be. It is what it is. Let me see something. Yeah, so people are saying July. Okay, July 15th. That's when that expires, right? It just froze for. Oh, thank you, Rich. Great. Thank you. So that means that it's not, so y'all not gonna be too lost on the stuff that I wrote. Perfect. Are we back? People said we know this is live. All right, let me start reading some questions here. Oh man, camera's tripping, guys. Well, at least you can see the board. You can see the board. So I don't know what, I think it probably froze around the personal development side and the programs that I bought. But these are the 3 different systems. Let's see. I'm going to try and scroll back up here on the comments. Rich says, you give knowledge, which I can tell you from personal experience, it has helped me greatly. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, I'm trying to give my camera a break here until it starts acting the way I need it to act. It's tripping right now. Jesus says maybe she can start a small garden, creating food, abundance, put the kids and sister to work the garden. Dude, that is some kingdom stuff right there. You know what I mean? This is kingdom stuff. You and Steve have been huge for my financial freedom. Wonderful. Eric says hit the like button. Support, support. Awesome, awesome. Don't give all of it to one person, divided into 3. Are you talking about the stimulus, the $2,200? Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna give $2,200 to someone I don't know. Although I have in the past, I mean, and I'm gonna continue to. But I try to hear what. It's tough, right? I try to hear what God is telling me to do, and this is why I do stuff like this, because I'm hoping that God does some crazy stuff. I want Him to shock me. I want Him to wake me up in the middle of the night and just shock me, like, you did the right thing. And I'm like, oh, great, I can sleep. Cool. That's all I want to know. I want to make sure I'm doing the right stuff. So I try to put it on display and challenge it. Just challenge. Why not? Adventure says, who in the chat uses a secured line? I'm trying to research the options. Any help is welcome. Dude, any local credit unions are great, to start with. I like the local credit unions. I remember, although my first secured credit card was with Wells Fargo, but I think it helps whoever you have an existing banking relationship with, probably just go there. If you are building a relationship with a bank, you might as well build it with a bank that offers those future credit lines that you're going to need. A HELOC, personal line of credit, home equity line of credit in the first and second position, nice, decent credit card offers. Damn it. Camera's still tripping. Hold on, let me see if I can work this. Just wait till I got people with me in this room and I'm starting to just wait till I have employees and whatnot. It's gonna be exciting. Darn it, can't figure it out. So I'm just gonna go over the questions. Pretty much went over everything that I wanted to go over, which is great. Let's see what we can do here. Guys, keep putting your questions in. I'm gonna just open it up to Q&A for the rest of, let's see how long we've been going. 1 hour and 24 minutes. So However long you guys want to ride this wave, I'm going to try and answer as many questions as possible. Okay, and we'll go from there. Rich says her credit score will increase once she starts paying off those credit cards. You are so correct. Dave Sincere, I have no words. In this time where everyone is talking about how they're going to spend their stimulus, Denzel is talking about giving and helping. Yeah, man, it's the kingdom. It's not me, I'm telling you. It's the kingdom. You got to start thinking kingdom-wise. Like this stimulus money that we're all getting, I promise you it's not free. It's going to hurt future generations down the line. So what I'm trying to figure out is I'm saying, okay, I'm a U.S. citizen. I received $2,200 of unwanted cash, unwanted money that I do not need. So now that it is in my hands, instead of me spending, wasting it, how can I quadruple, 10x this number so that by the time I have children, they will not experience the mistakes that my country went through? They are going to be in a different kingdom. They're still going to have dual citizenship. They're going to be American citizen and they're going to be a kingdom citizen. When the US government fails, crumbles, stock market crash, real estate crash, food scarcity, job losses, unemployment, welfare checks, while everybody around them is struggling, right, and things are going bad, they're going to be vacationing to a different kingdom, right? They're going to go to the kingdom of heaven and vacation and hang out there for a little while until America gets their act back together. U.S. government rebounds, right? Restores and gets a little better and starts operating a little bit better. Maybe a change of political positions, political people in high places maybe get removed, replaced, improved on, whatever it is. And then they come back and they keep doing their thing. And so they keep accumulating resources, being great managers, great stewards. They keep giving, never stop giving, because that is a heavenly principle, that's a kingdom principle, that's a business principle. Okay, if you don't give, you do not receive. And also, you guys who are struggling financially, you should be asking for help. You should be reaching out to 100 financial YouTube channels, every single one of them, and ask them for, I don't know, a coaching session. Hey, can you help me pay this specific bill? I know you don't know me, but it doesn't hurt to try. It doesn't hurt to ask. I'm telling you, I've had people ask me for help, right? And am I able to help everybody? No, nobody is. But if you put the law of averages, right? What is the law of numbers into play? For every 10 people I talk to, this is a sales principle. For every 10 people I talk to, I'm going to get at least one yes, depending on how effective of a communicator I am to those 10 people. And even if you talk to 10 people and they say no, all you got to do is increase your number to 20. If I talk to 20 people, I get one yes. And so now you have a 1 to 20 ratio, right? For every 20 people I talk to, one person says yes. For every 100 people I talk to, I get 5 yeses. By the time I've talked to 100 people, my communication skills would have improved, gotten a hell of a lot better, right? And then now your ratio starts to get tighter. Now it's like for every 100 people I talk to, 10 people say yes. So now you have a 10% closing ratio in terms of people supporting you, helping you grow. This is kingdom stuff. This is business stuff. This is logical. There's no hoping and wishing involved here. It's just, this is action. You can do it. I think I took a comment down. With that 2,200 payoff, okay, yeah, we said that earlier. If this doesn't make you root and support him, I don't know what will. I think her credit is low because the amount of debt and not late payments of credit repair won't work. It's about debt. So credit repair won't work because it's about debt. Am I wrong? Yeah, you're wrong, because It don't matter how much debt a person is in, you can repair credit. Now, obviously, we're going to be paying down the credit while we repair the credit. But there are plenty of things on people's credit reports that we could easily fix, like name errors, address errors, certain credit bureaus that are reporting incorrect information on a person's credit report could, those little tweaks could easily get fixed while I'm paying off debt, while I'm positioning myself for velocity banking. Mom is in the house. She needs to determine what expenses she run through her credit card. Yes, Mom. Yes, we will do all of that once she gets the other stuff in mind. Lexi says, I hear Dr. Miles Monroe in you, Denzel. Thank you. That's a very, very deep man who still influences people from the grave. Very interesting. That's the type of influence that I want to have. I want to go to the grave empty, nothing left inside of me. I want God to say, your work is done, rest, until I raise you up again for the next world that is to come. Okay? So when that time comes, when I pass away, everybody here will know he laid it all on the table. Okay? That's how it works. That's how it works. I agree with you, Denzel. You have to start with a foundation, and credit it is. If she focuses on changing her view on credit and what it can do, she'll understand its importance. Yes, yes, yes. Detail missing. How old are these kids and sister? Need to start working. Okay, yeah, we went over that. I'm probably behind on the comments. Forgive me. Forgive me. I just want to go through everything, make sure I don't miss anything. Just thought about this, Denzel. What if you created a kingdom debt tool? It could be a line of credit you own, and you can use it to help some in this situation get out of debt. Make it part of a plan. Very interesting. Very not sure if it would work, just thinking out loud. Yeah, I don't know if it would work either, but it's interesting. It definitely plays on my mind. Like, for example, I made a post talking about, I want to build a financial ministry, like a church of finances, or like a financial church. Like, and that's probably dangerous, right? Because the current interpretation of church in our society is a religious center, a religious location, a religious organization. But in the kingdom, if we go back in time, okay, and we understand how words, or what words actually mean. For example, church, that word is derived from the word ecclesia. Ecclesia means a place of assembly where citizens gather to discuss political matters, government matters, kingdom matters. So, what that means is that ecclesia, today's term, church, is a government building. It is a government location that represents the kingdom of heaven here on earth. It is the headquarters where information gets spread out to the people so that they can operate effectively and obey and be obedient citizens in the land, right? So I want to create a church like that where someone can enter into a kingdom and receive kingdom-like behaviors, kingdom-like living, kingdom-like thinking, and like a place, right? Like every Sunday, the topic is kingdom. The next Sunday, the topic is kingdom. The next Sunday after that, the topic is kingdom. Anything that pertains to the kingdom. Now, how is a kingdom supposed to look, and how is it supposed to operate, and what are the resources that are needed to have a successful kingdom? Number one, you have to have a government, Every kingdom has a government. Even the kingdom of heaven has a government. Okay? A kingdom also has a culture. A culture stems back to your ethics, which pertains to law. So law creates culture. In this land, we don't rape people. In this land, we don't kill people. In this land, we don't steal. In this land, we don't fornicate. In this land, we don't commit adultery. In this land, we don't envy our wife's neighbor. In this land, we don't covet our neighbor's resources. We don't have envy over. So that's how a kingdom works. So that's law, culture. Then you have the government, which is operating, divvying out resources, managing properly. And then the third thing is an army. Every kingdom has to have an army to protect and guard the land from those that wish to steal, kill, rob, and do all those things that are outside of kingdom culture. Man, when people get that, oh, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life. Let's see. Let's keep going. I hope you guys are loving this. W4, Andre. Beautiful topic. Yes, the W4, make sure you're filling that out properly, ladies and gentlemen. You should not be getting a refund. If you get a refund, that is an indication that you overpaid the IRS and now they're giving you money back to you because you overpaid, hence the word refund. Okay, so you don't want a refund. Even Dave Ramsey says it, which is surprising. So, I like building capital with secured credit. It could help with the non-credit card bills. Yep. All right, I'm going to try and skip over some stuff. True velocity banking is level 2. She needs to master level 1. Snowball, budget. Yes, totally agree. It's imperative to start with her image and mindset. Parallel, suspend hair and other personal grooming. Yeah, man. Listen, I know a lot of women that don't wear makeup and they look beautiful. Stop wearing makeup. You don't need to get your hair done right now. When you start operating as a queen, okay, you do not need anything to be a queen. All you have to do is identify your source. Who is who? Figure that out. Once you've identified your source, you're now able to operate as a king and a queen. Now, before you start earning titles and becoming entitled, one must become humble. So you may have to remove the nail polish and the this and the that for a temporary period of time, not forever. There's an interesting concept I hear a lot of YouTubers talk about, how they have a no spend month, or they do like a no spend 3-month window where they don't spend money. They do as very little, they do everything in their power to spend as little money as possible. Pretty cool. It's a great way to, just, you're not lowering yourself. You're just humbling yourself. You're being content with the resources that you have and you're pushing forward. Once you've managed little, you now can be trusted with more. Now that you manage more, you just keep getting more to the point where you can't handle more any longer, and now you're forced to give because that's what the IRS tax code says to do. If you want to avoid paying taxes, just give the money, right? You can avoid a lot of taxes just by giving money away. Strategically, effectively, obviously. Okay. Joe says 1K for emergency fund, create a budget, create cash flow. Cool. I think yep, screen is still busted, man. This camera's tripping. That's a brand new camera. Canon M50. Giving a bad review. Tripping. I'm just kidding. It doesn't happen all the time. But it is what it is. Yeah, be uncomfortable for a little while. Adjust thermostats to decrease the monthly bill. Yep, totally. To write is to create what was before just in the mind. It makes it physical in the kingdom. Ooh, got someone talking real good here. Love it. We got 67 people in the house. I know it's getting late, so I know I got people going to sleep. If you're going to tune out, just say, goodbye. Let me know how you guys enjoyed this class. This has been great. Hope you've been really feeding into this. What I do is I break these videos up. I'll start editing it, all the good stuff, Let's see. Rich says, I funded my policy, then took a loan and put it in my taxable account buying stocks on sale. There you go. He's making money in 2 locations. Took advantage of the CARES Act 401k withdrawal as well. Wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. Let's see. I am barely starting kindergarten. This class is for high school, but looking forward to it. LOL. Yeah, it's a process. Listen, again, for people who are new, just starting out, I encourage you to watch the Velocity Banking pregame playlist that I have. I also suggest you just go back in time. Just scroll all the way back to the bottom of my YouTube channel. Just see how I was operating. And then you can see the person that you see now. And just think of it, well, that could be me. I'm starting out all the way back here, and then in a period of time, I am in a much better position. So you can, look at it that way. It's so great if you just keep watching. You'll learn something on every single video. It's amazing. Yep. Sharona says, heard about the Bossgram. Yep, it's good. Very good program. So for those, because I know I got business owners in here, and I got business owners that are not on the internet. You're not creating content, and you are missing out on so much cash. I promise you. You're missing out on so much money. Everybody's on the internet right now. There's over, 22 million now unemployed individuals stuck at home, don't know what to do. They're on the internet. How long will it take to set up an infinite banking policy? I would like to take advantage of the 401k CARES Act in place of a HELOC that is now in the process of closing. Okay, that's going to be a very interesting strategy. So we're leveraging a HELOC. We're also leveraging a 401k. If you're eligible for that CARES Act, everything goes great. I encourage you to watch a video called How to Leverage the CARES Act. I did a video on that recently. Talks about it. So it might give you some ideas. And then when you're ready, you can set up a phone call, have a consultation together, and we can see just how we can work together with Velocity Banking, Infinite Banking. In terms of how long does it take to set up an infinite banking policy? Usually 1 to maybe 2 months. But what ends up happening is you also have to factor in the education period. You got to learn this concept. You really know what you're doing, and make sure you design the right policy for you. So by no means should you rush this. On average, for my clients that I personally work with, they put a policy, like, I want to say about a 3 to 6 month window is what I normally see. And that's simply because, I want them to know infinite banking as much as I do. I want them to be very, very prepared. I don't want them to go into it blind. Don't want you to get buyer's remorse. I don't want you to start the wrong policy. You got to be very, very truthful with your numbers. So there's a lot to it. There's no quick thing. Very, very, strategic. Okay. It was only one video that froze. Sound continued. Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. Okay, that's when it froze. Okay. Adventure says, I love to garden. It teaches long-term planning well. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get on that idea too as well. I want to do that. I really want to do that. You put the work in, Denzel. You start. You knew we were doing something greater. Now look at you. I love you, man. Love you too. Love you too. I would drive from Washington to Florida to work with you. All right. I don't think you'll have to because my business is mobile. So, whether it's customer relations, I know that's the thing that I'm working on right now. Customer relations. Trying to stay in touch with everybody and help everybody and be an effective leader. So that could be something that I can definitely work on. Mortgage, line of credit, and student loans are at 0% temporarily. Should I use stimulus money to tackle some of these? Which one would you do first? If my line of credit, which I don't know how your line of credit's at 0 unless it's a credit card. Whenever I have 0% debts for a temporary period of time, I normally do not focus my attention on that. I usually focus on something else that is costing me interest. So if I have a personal line of credit, not a credit card, then I would want to knock that down, bring that to 0. The student loans, depending on the balance, I might let that payment ride out until I think October or December is when it kicks back in. Maybe I can make an effective chunk towards something that would increase my cash flow, bring my line of credit back to 0 by October, November, December, whenever the student loans kick back in. And then maybe I can jump back at the student loans, wipe that out, do velocity banking, jump to the mortgage. You might have to replay this video 4 times to get that process through. But that is one way that I would look at that. From day one, you dressed the part. I don't know, man. You should watch some of the videos. I was looking rough in some videos. Definitely got better now. I got these butter cloth shirts that I absolutely love. They keep me cool. Question here. I would like to take advantage of the 40% off on the one-on-one program. How long do I have to take part of it? It will end in 24 hours, I think. I got to look at it. I believe it ends May 1st, midnight of May 1st is when it'll stop. So that's how long you have. It's kind of like just like a flash sale that I was doing, trying to help people out. Once that sale is over, I'm going to be introducing a payment plan for people to, start the program and not have to put so much up front. My stimulus check was spent on bills. There you go. Yep. And listen, I get it. But if that's all you did with your stimulus money, if that's all you did was spent the money, I get it. Bills, food, water, shelter, I get it. But what you missed was the kingdom principle of giving. You missed it. So if you did not give from the heart, not grudgingly, not for to seek a reward, but if you gave from the heart because you know that there's someone else out there that's worse than you, there's always somebody that's worse than you, there's always someone that's better than you. You're never going to be totally at the top. There's always going to be someone better, someone more effective. And then once you do get to the top, guess what? Someone's going to replace you at some point. Because if you do not replace you, God will replace you, right? God has the authority to what? To kill. God kills people, right? I don't know why people don't think that. People get all out of whack when they read stories in the Bible. Oh, God kills people and blah, blah, blah. We do the same thing, yet we do not have the authority to kill. God has the authority to kill. So if you become a leader and you lead your life, you lead your household for over 40 years, understand that there comes a point where you must enroll a successor to take over. And it's wise to do that while you're living so that you can be in alignment with God's vision. Okay? This is a cycle of working your way from bottom to top. And then once you get to the top, guess what? You have to figure out a way to give all your money away. Because if you don't, Uncle Sam takes it all in the end, right? Or takes a big chunk of it through court fees, attorney fees, and blah, 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 and probate and all that good stuff. So if you don't figure out a way to create successors to take control over the kingdom that you built, then you keep your family lineage in this forever, cycle of poverty, of lack of education, ignorance. And the Bible is very clear. He says it all the time. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Very simple, because they don't see the perspective. They don't know the kingdom fully. It's very, very important that you get that. So I worked very hard, and my FICO is now 741. I'm right there. My FICO is like 750. And I just got a Navy Fed account. Can't wait until they open HELOC lending back up. What do you mean open HELOC lending back up? I know the banks are probably creating restrictions on HELOC, so people are probably getting nervous right now. But people who are in velocity banking, we're not nervous. Why? We never over leverage. Even if the value of my home drops, real estate market crash, I'm not worried about the HELOC freezing my account because I'm not going to over leverage the thing. Plus, I'm using the HELOC to pay down the first mortgage, which creates even more equity in the property to begin with. So I don't have to worry about those things. I think people who over leverage themselves, people who borrow too much, it's very easy to become a victim by the bank when they cancel your HELOC or they freeze it, they lock it up, they decrease the credit limit, whatever it is. They do HELOC up to 95% LTV. Yeah, I wonder if they change that, because I know a lot of banks changing that. Let's see. Just got my TD and only got 80%. Yep. Yeah, I think that's the 80 LTV is what a lot of banks lowered it to. And then probably they bumped up their credit score requirements. So I know there's going to be a lot of people right now that are going to be getting denied for HELOCs and personal line of credit. I can already see it because they're not going to do the pregame work. And they're just going to jump in. They're going to forget that, dude, we're in a quarantine. Banks are running out of cash. Banks are hurting. So, no good. Thoughts on using 401k money to fund IBC policy? I don't know. Could do it if you want. Option 1, I roll it over to IBC. Option 2, I take out a loan, right, to fund the policy. Option 3, I do nothing to the 401k. I stop funding the 401k and redirect contributions to IBC. When I reach 59 and a half and start taking distributions, I can use the distribution money to fund IBC for the life of the policy. And that is a strategy that I really like to do with my clients. So in terms of funding a policy, I like to fund IBC either with capital, cash on hand, savings, emergency fund, with the help of the line of credit. I typically don't inspire people pulling from existing assets. That might be scary for people, that might cause buyer's remorse. So for me to avoid that, I'm like, yeah, you can do it if that's what you want to do. If you have come to a conclusion that your 401k is a terrible account, there's high fees, I got to pay taxes, and I'm gonna get ripped apart. It seems like every crash, I'm always losing 30, 40, 50% of the value. Yeah, I'm getting a match, but it's stupid because it's just more tax, more fees I got to pay on the back end. Hey, you make that decision. Okay, let's see. Any investors in the house? According to Lex, my goal is to do real estate investing. Great, great, great. Anyone knows any bank that offers 95% LTV in Georgia? Well, Navy Fed is nationwide, so I know they're one. You might want to look at the military credit unions because usually their LTVs are going to be like closer to 100 because they're serving veterans, military. So if you have some connection with military, that might be a good idea to look into that. Even if you're not in the military, I've seen people get accounts with Navy Fed. Don't know how, but I've seen people do it. So it might be interesting. Wow, I've only been listening to you a couple weeks, but I've learned more in these couple weeks than I have in my entire life. Wow. Thank you, Caroline. So I don't need to be in the military. No, not necessarily. Maybe just have someone you know in the military or get referred, something like that. Now I need to put it all together to make sense. Takes time. Velocity banking pregame work. Go back, watch the old videos, catch up. You'll get this. Trust me. Rich said you had a nice little board back then in those old videos. Yep, I know. I used to make like 2 videos a day. I was going nuts back then. Now I kind of dialed back a little bit, trying to make effective content. Denzel, today was my last day at work. I have a 401k money. I don't know where to put the money. Any advice? Well, we got to get the 4 major numbers in line. We got to make sure we have our house still under management here. If I'm out of a job, you know, depending on whatever I get in stimulus, I want to make sure the house is in order first. I must now figure out how to create income, create cash flow. How can I give in times of crisis so I can get out of the crisis? Forget about investing, forget about paying off debt. Once I lose my income source, velocity banking is out the door. Velocity banking only works like at its best when I have good cash flow, good income, a line of credit, nice debt tool, you know, and I know what I'm doing. But when I lose that source of income, that main source of income, I gotta, okay, dial it back, you know, hold up and make sure the house is secure, bills are paid, all, you know, go back to paying the monthly minimums, make sure I'm paying the monthly minimums on everything in terms of debt payments. And now figure out a 10x strategy. How am I going to 10x my income, right? From wherever I was working at my job, I got to bring in, that's the main focus, just bringing in extra income. How can I do that? Sherry Lee says, great content. Look forward to our next talk. I look forward to it as well. Mom says good night to everybody. That's my mom. So everybody say good night to mom. God bless that woman. She produced, right? Hey buddy, how you doing? Oh, Rochelle. Now I know who you are. I'm gonna stop saying Lex. Miles Monroe Church was set up as a nonprofit. He didn't classify it as a church. Smart man. You want a faith-based 501c3 outreach for profit and a holdings to solidify your kingdom. Whoa. Yeah. See, if I'm going to start a church, it's not going to be a religious organization. It's not going to be a denomination of any kind. Because if I'm to interpret the Bible effectively, Jesus never joined any religion. He did not join Christianity. He did not join Catholicism. He did not join the Jews. He did not join Buddha. He did not join Muhammad. He didn't join anybody. He said his first statement when he started preaching was, repent, which means to change your mind. Repent, for the kingdom has arrived. What is the kingdom? That's his home. It's now here on earth. A kingdom is a business, organization. It is man's manual, right? It's a manual for mankind. That's what the kingdom really is, if I'm understanding this correctly, and I'm sure I've got people in here who know the word, know the Bible much better than I do, right? But the way I see the kingdom right now, it's like a manual. It's like when you buy a car and there's a manual in the glove compartment, and you open that big book and it has pages and pages on how to operate this car effectively, right? So as long as I follow the laws of that vehicle, it will last me forever, right? As long as I follow the laws, I have to put gasoline into the car, not orange juice, not milk. I have to change the oil every X amount of months. I have to rotate the tires. I have to replace the air filters. I have to wash the car, keep it clean. I have to maintain the vehicle. So the kingdom is the management system for mankind. It's not a religion. And it was never designed or intended to be a religion because, I don't know. Not to talk too long on that, man. Start preaching. Rich says, go watch the webinars on IBC Global if you want to really learn IBC. Yes, my God. Steve Parisi, man, that guy, you got to really be willing to sit there because it's just like a webinar, and he's writing and he's talking nice and smooth, nice and slow. So you got to be willing to sit down and take a ton of notes because this guy will go through, I mean, like detail. Like I would say Steve is like the manual for IBC. Okay? He's got the manual. So the closer you get to him, right? The closer you educate and watch, you're going to start, this is how I operate IBC effectively. Wonderful. How much longer y'all want to go? We're 2 hours in. My goodness. So many comments. I love the focus, the attention, the engagement is amazing. I believe I might have missed some questions in the chat room, so forgive me. Is a personal line of credit attainable for Velocity Banking with a 650 credit score? Maybe, but you might get a high interest rate. So it might be worth waiting. Do debt snowball a little bit longer until you can, maybe get it up to 700 or a little bit higher. Depends. Okay, Rich is clocking out. Thank you, Rich. Appreciate your time. They are not taking new applications, Navy Fed. Oh, interesting. And that would be good to know. If I go to a bank and I apply without asking questions like that, hey, are you guys accepting applications for a personal line of credit or HELOC? What are the eligibility requirements? What do you look for? Asking all the primary questions that I point out in my video. So that's a huge thing to avoid getting mixed up there. All right. Hi, Denzel. I still owe you my budget. The pandemic got me off track with business. That's all right. I will fill out the spreadsheet and set up a meeting next week, Andre. Awesome, Andre. Love it. Spot on. The kingdom is not a religion. We are the kingdom. The kingdom is now. Correct. Correct. Awesome. Wonderful. Let me see if oh my God. Camera's still not working. Hold on. Let me try it one more time. Try to fix this thing one more time. Gotta figure this out. Let's see. Darn it, man. Oh yeah, I think it came back. Yes. Beautiful. Now you guys don't have to look at me. You can look at the numbers. That's the important stuff. Great. Well, I don't think there's any other comments. Anybody else? Oh, there we go. My only two debts are my $24,000 student loan and mortgage. Should I chunk on student loan and get it to zero before the mortgage? Yeah. Depending on those student loan payments, that's cash flow that I could be, redirecting to the mortgage. So I usually do like to pay off all other debts before I hit the mortgage. So that is something that I like to focus on. So let's see, the last thing that I want to close out with. Let's see if there's anything I missed. I think I got everything here. So y'all know what to do with the stimulus money, right? There's a lot of things that you can do. I think giving 10% right off the top makes perfect sense. If you want to be aligned with the kingdom, I think it makes perfect sense. Once you give, figure out ways. How can I continue to give? Not just monetary, but who can I help? Who can I serve? Who can I give my time to? Is there someone I can feed? Is there a neighbor I can drive to work or you know, lend my car? I don't know. There's just so many different ideas. Maybe I can help my neighbor with their garden. I don't know. With their household. Maybe there's someone that I can team up with in terms of velocity banking, just getting educated, reaching out to leaders and influencers is going to be super, super helpful. Okay. Let's see. Maribel, thank you for your dedication to us. Yep, that's what I'm here for. This video will be uploaded to the manifesto in the live classes, so you guys can view it there. It'll be in order. Everything's dated. I did my IBC, but I need you, Denzel, to do it for me. I already did the medical, and I am an A+. Health expires November 2020. I need the correct MEC to send my child to college. She is 1 now. Interesting. Well, you can, you said you did your IBC. Oh, you don't have a policy in place yet. I get it. Appreciate that. Remember to like. Have a blessed night. Okay, everybody. I guess we're starting to clock out now. There's still 62 people in the house. So, you know, I've been hearing from the same commenters consistently throughout the night here. So if there's anybody that has any final questions, something you want to bring up, something that didn't make sense earlier, listen, now's the time. I'll just start sharing with you again my services right now. Someone mentioned it earlier. I'm offering my one-on-one coaching and consulting program at a discount. You can check the links in the description of every one of my videos. They're all the same. So again, if you're brand new, you can join my Velocity Banking private Facebook group where I have private classes, private live streams, and try to be a little more intimate. Okay. You know what? That's the thing I wanted to do. It just brought up a new idea. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, those who stay all the way through. Those who stay all the way through. Here's what it is for the new people and old people too that are not clients. So if you're not a client, I have a 7-step system that I created to help you so that I can give to you. Okay? If you want to get a king's attention, you have to do things, right? You have to put skin in the game. You have to have equity in it. You have to have effort. Okay? So if you're new or you've been watching my content for a while, you've been really wanting to get your finances in order, but you just can't, or I don't want to say can't, but you find it very difficult to afford to hire a financial coach, consultant to work you through along the way. I've created a 7-step system, right? And I will send it to anybody, right? All you gotta do is email me. I'll write it down so you get it, and I'll type it in the inbox as well, and maybe somebody can type it for me. Okay, it's Denzel at builder2contributor.com, all one word. Okay. Or you can fill out my contact form, put your question, your specific question in, name, email, phone number, and I'm going to send you a 7-step process that you're going to take. I'm not going to tell you all the steps, but they're going to be these specific steps that you're going to take to position yourself to work with me. Once you've completed these 7 steps, and like I said, it's for people who are new, not clients, because if you are a client, you're already working with me, so no need to worry about this. Well, once you do these 7 steps, I'm going to give you my time. Remember, time is money. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to, so that we can have a one-on-one together, a one-on-one conversation together. Okay. Now, during that one-to-one conversation, we'll determine if I can actually help you based on the concepts that I teach, whether you're ready for them or not. If you're not ready for them, I'm simply going to send you back to do specific, I'm going to send you back to the system if you didn't do it properly, right? Or before you even hop on the call, I'm going to verify that you did everything right so that we're not wasting time here. But let's say best case scenario, you're in a good position, you're ready to get started. We'll negotiate how we can proceed together and how we can, help each other grow. What things, what ideas that we can come up with that you can give to a king so that a king can give back to you. I want you guys to put pressure on me. I want you to put pressure on God, put pressure on the king, all right? Because the more you challenge, the more you put pressure on a king, he has to maintain his reputation, his name's sake. So anyone that enters my kingdom, any client that I have that enters my kingdom, they are now my responsibility when it comes to their 4 major numbers. So if I have a client that is failing in my kingdom, one of 2 things occurred. Either number 1, I personally neglected them, right? Maybe I didn't reach out to them. Maybe I didn't send them enough emails or updated them. Maybe all of a sudden Denzel just stopped posting videos, and he hasn't posted videos for over a month and hasn't done a class in over a month. And he's unavailable. I can't book a call with him for over a month. That's called neglection. I'm neglecting my people, my kingdom. So that's one thing. The second thing that could happen is the person quit, or the person is not doing their part. They're not booking phone calls. They're not sending me an email. They're not watching my videos. They're not coming to class. They're just not doing anything. You got to remember, a king, right? He sits in the throne. The minute the king leaves the throne is now at risk of being taken. Have you ever wondered why God never, I might be wrong on this, but God never came like physically to earth? Whenever God needs to send a message to earth, he always sends an angel, a messenger, right? A Holy Spirit. He sends the Son. He himself never leaves the throne, right? So God doesn't leave the throne, but he will send his Son. He will send the Holy Spirit. He will send an angel or a messenger, right, to deliver his thoughts to earth on how he wishes to operate. So it works the same way. I'm not going to come knocking on your door, because if I leave this kingdom, it's now at risk. I now run the potential of neglecting clients. So what I do as a king is I send messages, right? 21st century, I send emails, right? I send videos. I send private content. I create a private platform. I create a private Facebook group. I create resources, downloadable resources, spreadsheets, calculators. So I'm sending the kingdom citizens resources for them to use. I don't personally come to their house, knock on their door, and cook them dinner. Maybe one day, right? Maybe, depends. But until now, until I can keep growing my kingdom, this is how I, as a king, send information to the citizens for them to receive It's now up to that citizen to have authority over that resources, manage the information, take advantage of my time, use it to their benefit, to their liking, and push forward and get results. So that's what I want to share with you. So if you're new, send me an email. You can fill out a form below, join my private Facebook community. I'll take you through a 7-step system, and then we can have a one-on-one conversation together. From that point, that conversation, listen, I'm not going to sell you anything on that call. We're just going to focus on your questions. We're going to focus on what it is that you need. And if you want to take the next step, I will open that. I'll say, hey, are you ready to take the next step? Are you ready to invest in yourself? Hire a financial coach and a consultant. I'm both. So I'll do both coaching and consulting. Consulting is just straight up the numbers, right? Just the numbers and the execution style. But financial coaching is the mindset, is the discipline, is the strategy, right? It's the spiritual stuff, the inner stuff. And the consulting, it's the physical, the results. Make a video, right? We run the numbers, we write it out, right? That type of thing. So I'll leave you with that. Cool. Oh man, a lot of comments just came in. God, you guys are you guys like standing watching? Because I'm standing. I never sit when I do videos now. I don't think I've ever sat in a video. But are you guys like hype? I know it's late, but I get excited over this stuff, man. There's so much activity going on. My goodness. Sandy says, awesome, thank you. I love how you incorporate the scriptures in your teaching. That's the best foundation we're building on and through the Spirit of God. Wonderful, yes. Hey Denzel, I'm new but very interested in learning this process. Wonderful. Take advantage. Send me an email. Amen. This is worth learning to increase your stewardship. Wonderful. Asia, hi Denzel, the content, love it. And you have inspired me to finally start making YouTube videos. I respect the kingdom-focused financial knowledge, and I need to give more. I'm rebuilding my credit for a personal line of credit. Wonderful. That's an awesome picture. Good night, everyone. Tuning out. Awesome. Good night to you. Adventure says I'm standing right now. Yep. Standing, waiting to brush my teeth. Can't stop watching. LOL. All right. Yeah, let's cut it off. All right. This has been a pleasure. I love talking to you guys. This has been intense. Okay, I hear God's voice. The more I do stuff like this, I continue to hear his voice. If there's anyone out there that needs to hear his voice, man, I would be even happy to just have a conversation and we can just talk the word. Man, if you're done with earthly systems and governmental systems that do not hold, that do not stick to a standard of measure, man, I gotta invite you. I gotta reintroduce you to this awesome kingdom, man. I'm telling you, I'm living it every single day, and it's amazing. It gives me the most amount of energy that I could ever have. Dude, I'm 24. Can you imagine 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now how big this kingdom's gonna be, how many successful people in here that are getting in now. So you're getting in the kingdom now while it's fresh, early. Just wait till it's really established. So God bless you. Have a wonderful night, and I'll set up another live stream soon. I'll try to give more heads up. Okay? Enjoy the rest of the evening. God bless everybody. Start with monthly income first. $6,285.12. Monthly expenses. Total debt.
$25,000. So policy number 1, the cash value that I have in there is $11,000.
We currently owe $25,000. $9,205 is going to be my highest chunk recommendation. $9,900 is what I'm gonna shift onto the Navy Fed card at 0%. And you have a $10,000 HELOC, 14K balance come July. We are structuring a policy for him to fund, to get started with, so I'm pretty excited.